Hi everyone, I'm Darren, Registration and Event Coordinator for the Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police. Our friends at Serving with Pride have challenged us to light up our social media with pride for the month of June for the First Responders Pride Month Challenge, and we accept the challenge. Over the course of the month, I will be speaking with various LGBTQ2S officers and allies and sharing their story. Today I'm speaking with Constable Tyler Bell of the Peel Regional Police Service. Thank you, Tyler, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me today. If you could just tell us a little bit more about yourself, like how long you've been with Peel and what kind of work you're currently doing with them.
So thanks very much for having me. I've been on the force for a little bit more than 5 years now. Currently in patrol. In my function as patrol, I'm a field training officer. I work with the MCERT, which is the Mobile Crisis Rapid Response Team, where we ride with a crisis worker going to mental health related calls, people in crisis. And I'm also part of the community mobilization team, which is a community engagement unit. So that is affiliated in all. It's encompassed under patrol and uniform work. So that's where I'm at right now.
The first question I have for you is, what inspired you to become a police officer?
It's something that I've wanted to do ever since I was, able to walk. And, as a kid, it's for the lights and sirens and, the police car and, they get to do cool things. But as you get a little bit older and you start to realize what the function of a police officer is, it just makes it all the more, it just really added to the inspiration. And I remember when I was in elementary school, going into the first 2 years of high school, we had this program called peer mediation. And basically we had some special training, or what they called special training at the time and at that level. And we wore pennies, like uniforms, and we were out in the schoolyard and we were dealing with conflict. So, fellow students who were having issues with one another, or somebody took their lunch bag, or silly little things like that. We were the peer mediators and we helped kind of solve the problem. And, I used to think, I really like doing this. I wonder what I could do when I grow up that's going to be similar to this. And it just kind of always aligned. I was like, hey, I always wanted to be a cop because of the police car. This is actually what they do. They're out there solving problems. So, that's what got me into it. As I got older and I appreciated the function more, it was about, helping people who can't help themselves, defending those who can't defend themselves, and holding people accountable and bringing justice to those that need it. So all those factors combined has really driven me to what led to policing at 22 years later.
And what has your experience been like being an open LGBTQS officer?
In Peel, it's been phenomenal. I had the advantage or the luxury, I'll say, of coming into the police force open. There's myself, and at the time there was myself and one other police officer with the force that was openly gay. And I really didn't know that. I was ignorant to that, and I just thought, hey, police department in the GTA, they gotta be pretty well diversified. And I came in with this no care kind of attitude in terms of I am who I am. They can't have a problem with that. And sure enough, I was right. It's been very smooth. Great support. Excellent platoon. Just support all the way from top of the organization right on down to the individual officers that I work with. It's been great.
That's good. I'm really happy to hear that. My next question for you would be, if any, what would you say has been your biggest challenge as an LGBTQS officer?
Within the organization, within Peel Regional Police, I can't say that I've had many challenges at all. From in 2016 when we had the Pride Parade, I showed up with rainbow epaulets on my shoulder. Didn't ask anybody for permission. Realized I probably should have, but it was great. The support was there, and it took a couple of the command senior officers to be like, you know what, this is a good idea. We should really be doing this. So I wouldn't really call it a challenge. Maybe a little bit of ignorance, but not even in the bad way, because everyone's been so embracing here. as a police officer, my duties on a day-to-day basis, um, being gay is not a visible minority. So it's not like hey, I'm Constable Bell. I happen to be gay, and this is how I can help you in this moment of crisis. Um, so you take measures. Like I wear a rainbow watch, very subtle but huge to people who are within the community and requiring the help of a police officer in that time. And it's just an opportunity to them, or it's a way to reach out to them and let them know that they can be comfortable with me. So the challenge is really, we don't have a large community of, or a large LGBTQ2S plus community in the region of Peel, like we do in Toronto. Surely the people are out there, but being able to help the most people or be the most beneficial to the people who need it the most is the biggest challenge, because I just don't think there's enough awareness in the region of Peel.
Yeah, I agree. I'm actually a resident of Peel myself. I live in Mississauga, and yeah, you're right. I don't think there's any kind of pride activities that go on in Peel or Mississauga that I'm aware of.
Yeah, we do have a Peel Pride that takes place, but it's not well advertised. Not a lot of people know about it, and I think that's a challenge that I'm working hard to address. With other officers with Peel, and try to get more and more awareness out there, because there's tons of community partners that are willing to dive right in and help and make this a great event and to formulate a community. So yeah, it's good to hear your perspective of being a resident in the region, and at least tells me that I'm at least somewhat correct in my theory.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to an LGBTQ2S individual that is considering a career in law enforcement, what would it be?
It's not a barrier. You know what? As newer officers are joining the force, nobody seems to care too much about stigmas, stereotypes. They care about character, and it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter where you fall within the LGBT community. It just matters that you're a good person, and that's all we seem to really care about anymore. As newer people roll into policing, I'm speaking from my experience here in Peel, and I can confidently say there's nothing that should get in your way from coming and joining Peel. And I feel like a lot of my colleagues that opinion is shared in forces like Toronto Police or New York Regional Police, where they've had, they've got a fairly large community within the police organization. They've got an internal support network, and I would say, really, in the GCA, we need people to be in the forefront. We need people in the front lines that are members of the community to reflect and to demonstrate, and be reflective of the community that we serve. And we mentioned that there's not a huge gay community in the region of Peel. We're a population of 1.6 million. Of course, there's members of the community that are within the LGBTQ spectrum. So we need officers to be out there and to be vigilant and to be willing to put themselves out there to help, because it just makes you that much more able to that much more influential in the community as your role, because as a cop you already are, but if the person that you're dealing with knows that you face some of the same struggles in your life as them, you're able to reach out and do a hell of a lot more.
Absolutely. And thank you for sharing that. I know personally, and I'm sure you can attest, even growing up, as an LGBT person, we never really saw anybody that we could identify with or relate to on even television shows. I mean, that's only become a thing in the last, maybe 5-10 years. The sitcoms and stuff we used to watch, there wasn't anybody like that. So, I mean, that's why I posed the question, because I know that, maybe there is a young LGBT person out there that, would love to get into a career in policing, but, necessarily hasn't seen somebody or, a cop that they would identify with. So thank you for that.
And, to that point, it's right there. Police officers have the ability to be a role model, just like a firefighter, just like a doctor, just like a, an actor on TV. Kids need role models. Youth need role models. Teenagers need role models. So you can have the biggest impact if you're out and you're comfortable. There's no reason why you can't be out and comfortable in a force like Peel Regional Police, and you have the ability to change the world, at least somebody's world.
Right. I totally agree. And my last question for you is, what does pride in policing mean to you?
That's the hardest question to answer, really. Remembering why you joined the job, remembering that every time you get out of your car to go and make contact with somebody, doing the same thing you would for anybody, and just, you remember your oath, you remember why you signed up, you keep your integrity, you remember your challenges, and you'll treat every person with the compassion that you expect to be treated. And that, to me, pride in policing is going out there knowing that you're doing the right thing and having the best of intentions, having the best training that you can possibly have, taking the time to educate yourself. I don't know how to answer that question, really. But there's so much that's encompassed in the word pride for me.
Right.
This uniform, I am so proud to wear it every single day. I'm a proud member of the LGBT community. I'm a proud member of Peel Regional Police. Being a cop has always been more significant to me than being gay, and being both and being proud of being both. My God, I feel like I won the lottery.
That's awesome. Well, that's all I have. I just want to sincerely thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me and answer these questions. I really hope that speaking with you and putting it out there will help make a difference for people. And like I said, thank you very much for sharing your story, and happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.